COLAS, caregivers of loved ones with aggression and self-injury.
Hi guys, this is Megan Dabney with COLAS, Caregivers of Loved Ones with Aggression and Self-Injury. This is our podcast, COLAS Connect. If you are not aware, today is April 2nd, which is World Autism Awareness Day. I just wanted to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about this population of people with autism and some reasons that we have been given to be denied services. A lot of these are things that I have experienced personally with my kids, and also things that I've heard in our support group. If you're not aware, we have a support group that we hold virtually twice a month. Usually we have one in the morning and one in the evening. But if you would like more information on that, you can email me at agg&sib@gmail.com. As far as reasons for being denied, one of the reasons is being nonverbal. This is something that I've actually experienced with my kids. A lot of providers will deny an individual with autism services for being nonverbal, saying that they can't participate in verbal therapies. Again, that's something I've experienced myself, as well as multiple families in my support group. Another reason is IQ. Again, this is something I've experienced when we were looking for those of you who don't know, my daughter is the one that has the more severe behaviors. Both my kids are pretty severe on the autism spectrum. My son is nonverbal. My daughter has some speech, but not a lot. But she does have the more aggressive behaviors. And when we were looking for options for her with the more kind of intense services, a lot of them had IQ requirements. Either you had to be above this IQ or below this IQ. None of it was, the same. And this is someone that has behavior so high that she really can't do an IQ test. So it's kind of silly to me, but I don't make the rules. Another reason is for being female. My daughter has missed out on services because she's female. There are a lot of service providers that only serve males because, typically speaking, males do get autism more, but there still are females that get it, and they need services. The self-injury, like the head banging, a lot of places won't serve those individuals. Pretty much any place once they're adult age. Having autism, I have called places when we were looking for help that said they treated autism on their websites. I would call them. As soon as I said autism, they're like, we don't take people with autism, which is insane. Insurance, this is better than it used to be, but back in the day when my kids were little, ABA therapy didn't take Medicaid. You pretty much had to pay out of pocket or have private insurance that would pay for it. So my kids didn't get to do ABA. I mean, that's definitely better now, but there's still some things that insurance, a lot of us have Medicaid because you can't afford this stuff out of pocket, and some places won't take that. The aggressive behaviors, again, I've said that with my daughter's definitely the one that has the more severe aggressive behaviors, but my son, he can have them too if he's not feeling well, or if we're having an issue getting one of his prescriptions refilled because of a prior authorization, which is happening a lot lately, or it's too loud, or just too crowded, something like that. And he's lost services. She's definitely lost services. Living in rural areas. I've heard this from the support group. When you live in a rural area, there's just not a lot around. There's not a lot of help around, and it's hard to find someone that will work with you. And then, of course, being too old. A lot of services kind of want the early intervention, which is, I understand, which typically is age 5 and under, but autism doesn't end when you're 5. And if you do get services after that, which, I mean, things are getting better, so it's definitely not impossible after 5. You definitely, once you get to teenage years, it's really hard because they're not little and cute anymore. And then definitely after school age, that's when a lot of it drops. And then when you're an adult, you're pretty much, if you're not fully functioning, you're pretty much screwed on getting services. So I just wanted to, as part of World Autism Awareness Day, make sure that people are aware that we're getting denied services. And typically, like, these things that I'm saying are things that you would typically think of when you think of classic autism, like the head banging, the nonverbal, all this stuff. And yet it's used as a reason to deny these individual services. So my hope is that this reaches people maybe that work with people with autism and kind of use this to be like, hey, we should probably change this, or, find a way to help those with the more severe autism, because the families need it, the individuals need it. If you have a loved one with the more severe, profound autism and you've been denied services for a reason that I did not mention, feel free, if you're comfortable, to comment below and tell a little bit of your story. If you are a provider that works with this population, also please comment below. We want to spread the word and we want to get the services out there so that we can help these families. I want to thank you guys for listening. Please like and subscribe. If you are interested in being a part of the podcast, you can email me at colas.connect@gmail.com, colas.connect@gmail.com. If you're interested in the support group that I mentioned before that we have virtually twice a month, you can email me at aggandsib@gmail.com. That is aggandsib@gmail.com. Thanks, guys.